Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm your host, Colorfade. It's episode 85. We are the Watcher's Orbital Station after Leethus. So, given that we're on the station, and I don't know what's going to happen here, because my notes are completely inadequate, I'm thinking that what we might want to do is heal some people. So let's do that. We have the kits.
Idle, heresy grows.
Removes traumas.
Blessed be the hand of the healer.
And let's give her regular med kit after that. And then who else needs it? Pagos. You don't have anything except for this, right? No, that doesn't do it. The Gladiator's healer kit doesn't do it. The skin patch does it. You can remove your own traumas with that.
Has only just begun.
Excellent. And then I can give you this hospital. So you've got that. Let's see what's going on here. We've got goods. Let's make sure we loot all the goods first. Because you never know what's going to happen once we engage this cogitator. Lady Theodora's mantle. At the start of the wearer's turn, if there are more enemies than allies in combat, the wearer deals 20% more damage with melee weapons. That's really nice. 20% more damage. Wow. I don't know if I should be wearing that or if I know. That might be a good thing for Cabela to wear. That 20% more. That's only if there are more enemies, though. So when you get to a situation where, like what we were at, where we just had the boss, then you're not doing that. Then it'd be better to have the cloak that I have on. So let's see what's going on here. A human torso. Shut up, dog. The human torso is built into the massive cogitator. Countless cables entangle the shriveling body and snake under the pale skin. Identification. Rogue Trader von Valencius. Initiating the final stage of the Oblivion Directive. A ragged wheeze escapes the Vox grill and the man's speech becomes more animated and bilious. You have arrived at last, offspring. At last everything ends. Go on. Take the last step. Confirm the execution of the directive, and in do so, destroy Leethus, take its riches, and free me from this unbearable vigil. Explain to me what's going on now. You really don't know. Did she choose not to tell you, or did she not get the chance? It doesn't matter anymore. Yours is the blood of the dynasty, and so I am compelled to give you this answer. The man announces in a mechanical voice, Supreme Ordinance. The arrival of the head of the Von Valencius dynasty with the purpose of the complete extraction of the tithe triggers the immediate activation of the Oblivion Directive by the Watcher of Leethus. At the moment of the directive's activation, the machine spirits of the initiation systems are bound in Prometheus Proxima class Cogni Shackles. The Cogni Shackles cannot be removed by any means. The directive guarantees the Rogue Trader's acquisition of the planet's assets and the destruction of Leethus, presented as being caused by the actions of the enemies of humanity. So, Lady Theodora intended to steal the tithe from the start. She arranged the world's destruction to cover her tracks, installed a servant to keep an eye on things, and even made a contingency plan in case of her own death. All she needed was an opportune moment, like this one. With the expanse being torn apart, the planet's death looks convincing. Jai lets out a whistle. Now that's ambition. You can't even call it theft. Just an ingenious redistribution of resources on a sector scale. Ingenious and audacious. I see. Abort Leethus's destruction this instant. I must refuse. The Supreme Ordinance states that if the head of the dynasty has declared the tithe's evacuation, I am to destroy the planet. You are the one who announced to the arbiters that you were taking the tithe with you. The directive has been initiated, and the Cogni Shackles placed. It cannot be stopped. What if I simply kill you? Then you will change nothing. The directive cannot be stopped. The cogni shackles, once applied to the initiated systems, are unbreakable. Accept your fate, offspring. I accepted mine long ago. Were you the one who intruded on my conversation with Vigdis prior to our landing on Leethus? Yes. I needed to exchange codes with the flagship in order to identify the vessel and its owner. I had to sift through onboard communication channels and systems to verify the new Lord Captain's data and his right to be one. You want me to claim the tithe for my own? I have long since been robbed of the luxury of freely expressing my thoughts. I am merely quoting Theodora's plan. This qualifies for a culprit's confession, except the culprit herself is dead, and judging this creature would be pointless. Still, we must decide what to do next, rogue trader. Solomon gives you a long look before continuing. If the Marshal learns the whole truth, it will make things difficult for everyone. It is better that you redress Theodora's crime by sending part of the tithe to support the afflicted worlds of the Expanse, and delivering the rest to the Administratum. Solomon, you are essentially proposing to steal the Imperial tithe. Before that conversation we had, I would have considered it a crime myself. But with the Expanse burning, and after witnessing every shade of absurdity on Leethus, my opinion has changed. Helping the distressed planets is an investment in the future. A future which we may not live to see if we don't look after the people. Besides, how are we to collect new tithes without those who labor for the good of the Imperium? Yeah, it's amazing we actually kind of changed his mind. Did we really do that? I fully agree with you. Good. I've had enough complications for one mission. I still have questions for the Watcher of Leethus. Are you a servitor or something different? Something entirely different. Offspring. A prisoner of my own mind and these machines. Do not let my manner of speech deceive you. I am only following the orders vested in me. The part of my brain that controls my ability to converse and holds the scraps of my personality was severed from my volition centers and locked in a cage of functions and limitations. So you can think for yourself. Calling it thinking would be an overstatement. Imagine a corridor with all the doors locked except for one or two. That would be my consciousness. Yes, a dark, suffocating corridor with fading pictures of memory and nail scratches on the walls. Why were you consigned to such a terrible fate? I was a threat to Theodora's rule, and she had my brain dissected. A sophisticated sentence, to be humiliated, to live in suffering, yet continue to serve the dynasty, perfectly harmless. Absorb this lesson. Offspring. That is how a rogue trader metes out punishment. You crave death. That is not typical for the thralls who have no will of their own. What does it matter what I crave if I am doomed to follow orders? Yes, I need you to complete the Oblivion Directive and trigger the station's shutdown so that I can be set free at last. And yet, in all these years, I have done nothing to bring my death closer. I can wait an eternity longer, suffering but infallibly obedient. I have other questions. Of course, you are welcome to prolong my agony for as long as you like. You still haven't told me your name. Who are you? That is the one question I cannot answer. Theodora did not wish for anyone to learn the name of he who has become the Watcher of Leethus. Do you serve Theodora or the dynasty? Because at this moment, I am the dynasty. You may have a point. I am but a servant, and the future of the Protectorate is in your hands. You are the authority, and I obey. I am Darius von Valancius, Theodora's older brother, whom she turned into an amalgam of machine and man. How could Theodora have a brother? Everyone would know of you. Had I been a legitimate child, yes, they would have written my name in gold into the dynasty's chronicle. However, my mother's origin, as well as certain other circumstances, were damaging for House von Valancius, and so my inclusion into the family hit a snag. When Theodora was young, I was brought to Dargonis to be trained for the role of seneschal. When she became the rogue trader, she refused to recognize me as her kin. She needed an obedient servant who wouldn't challenge her rule. Had I behaved myself, perhaps Theodora would have condescended to call me her brother and heir on her deathbed. Why were you punished? As Theodora's senior relative and direct heir, I could lay claim to her throne. And I did. I intended to kill her and declare a search for her successor. And while it went on to enter the warrant chamber and assume the rogue trader's title by right of blood, Theodora exposed my plan, executed anyone who had taken part in the conspiracy, and turned me over to her tech priests. Okay, but why come up with such an elaborate punishment? At first, I thought Theodora was going to pay me visits so she could gloat, but she never once appeared on the station. I have a different explanation now. For a von Valancius, even punishment must befit his status, with a gilded prison and a one-of-a-kind augmetics, so as not to have a pathetic servitor mar the dynasty's image. You have yet to ask me how your sister died. I cannot ask questions about anything unrelated to my function. Now that you have brought it up yourself, however, no, I do not want to know. If I heard that she had died by chance at the hands of an unworthy opponent, I would be gravely disappointed. After all, I have always solaced myself by believing that Theodora was someone extraordinary, and only because of this she was able to beat me. All right, so I have decided what should be done with the tithe. Then announce your decision. A portion of the tithe will remain with me, and I will see to it that it finds its way to worlds affected by the crisis. You are a better person than Theodora was. Do not take this as a compliment. It is an extremely detrimental quality for a rogue trader. No kidding. The rogue trader has spoken. The barges will go where he has decreed, and the Watcher of Leethus has served his purpose. I had hoped that I would feel relief. I know that it's there, locked inside my protocols, and she wanted me to know and to not feel. The Watcher's head hits his sunken chest. Even at the moment of death, he was denied the elation of freedom. The vid screens of the cogitators flicker, trying to process the influx of data, and then they fade all at once. And just like that, Leethus goes up in flames. Well then, we're out of here.
I always have a backup plan.
There's gonna be some angry people about that. Your Voxcaster hisses softly, drawing your attention. It seems someone has been hailing you for some time now. Lord Captain, your immediate intervention is required. The barges you sent to Dargonis have been attacked by enemy ships that just emerged from the warp. What ships are they? They carry no identifying marks, and the signatures are unreadable. All I can tell you is that they are of Imperial construction. How did they find us? The system's coordinates are classified. At present, we do not know, Lord Captain, but we are already working on it. Prepare for battle. I am coming. Well, now we get a little ship combat. You get new waves of enemies each turn. You don't actually need the barges to reach the exit point. Killing all enemies will work.
Hold fast. Our fate will be tested.
So there's our barges. They're big. They got a lot of hit points, but obviously we don't want enemies hitting them. So, Cobra class destroyer again from behind. These people don't pay attention to their rearview mirrors. Look at the artwork though down below. Like, I don't even care about what's going on at the battle. That is impressive. Wow. That is so cool. Like, I want just that for a desktop wallpaper. That is awesome looking. Okay, we'll get over here and get back on the fight, but that is incredible. Wow. Okay, so Nymerius, sword class frigate, the Heartless. These guys are going to be moving in this direction. They're going to be headed for, I believe there's an exit point over here. Right there. That's the Mandeville point. In this zone, transport ships can safely make a warp jump. So what we need to do, probably, we have a ship back there, a Cobra class destroyer. Wow. And we got one back there. Jeez. So we're going to have to like turn around. We got those guys over there. Okay, do we want to waste time with all hands on deck? It's not active though. Oh, and we lost our shield master. We lost our shield master. Just because that's what the game does. It just automatically removes people from their posts for no reason than just because. I don't know. Who was our shield master? That's upsetting. I guess I need a note here that before landing on Leethus, we should check the posts on our ship. You know what? I'm going to make a note of that. Not that I'll play this again, but I got to make that note. That's annoying. All right, Excel spreadsheet is annotated. Well, in that case, let's just launch one right there. We got dorsal, but we can't see it. If I want to get around and shoot these guys, the easiest thing to do may be to first move. Because then I can kind of move around in this direction like this.
Let the Empyrean guide us.
And we still just may have to do the old
Let the incandescent beam
F10 and nuke
torch our
everybody.
enemies.
Oh, activate the Geller field emergency warp jump. Oh, I don't think so. Can we get closer to him? How close can we get? Not close enough. Oh yeah, we can shoot that thing down. Okay, hold on. Can we get that? It's 90%. Bye-bye. Okay. We'll leave ourselves like that. That guy's turned that way. That one's turned that way. Can we just turn him a little bit more? Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Okay. Well. You guys could try to tag team these and aim for the same ones, you know. There you go. That's proper. Bloody throne, we're gonna die. Interceptors, take them out. Oh, the other ship. Ding dongs. Yeah, ding dongs. So our ship is ginormous, and it's basically a floating city. Imagine how big that is. That's awesome. Round 2. More enemy ships arriving. Yes, I know. Cobra class destroyers. Oh, and then there's big ships. Falchion class frigates. Okay. Oh, we gotta mop up these guys behind us. Wow, he's already down to 280. Okay. Well, let's do this then. Bye-bye.
Macro cannons, annihilate them.
Yeah, you're not getting away from that.
Send them into the cold void.
Gonna go this way.
Us to our target.
Now, what can I do here? I can move a ship. I could turn these guys around. Yep. That helps. Not much else I can do. Extra range. Okay. Kill this thing right here. Got huge frigates up here. You killed that one. Can the little tiny interceptors take this down? It's got 2 hit points left. Okay, you got it. Good job. Forward ho. And our missiles now going to move, and they're probably going to do some stupid thing like move twice in a row. So, yeah, look, there's our missiles. It's just so corn. Okay.
There's a breach in the enemy shield.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna try very hard to make that work in our favor. Let's move this way, so then we can just go straight.
Emblazon our path.
So how far we can shoot? Okay, this is good. Shoot this guy.
Let the incandescent beam scorch our enemies.
Smite the enemies of
Because that thing
humanity.
does a lot of damage. Let's launch this. It's going to have to come around like this. I'd like to just move this way, though.
Now.
Let's move forward. We can get the little interceptors here.
Destruction forthwith.
Get the dorsal fin. Can we kill that?
Eviscerate them.
No boarding action.
That one's
What a
gone.
shame.
Reinforce the shields. We'll poke them out front. Even though we don't have a shield master. We'll see where the weak points are in this guy. Right in the front. Fun. And we could use boarding party if we wanted to, but I don't think we need to, so. Yep, you guys need to get up here and lay waste. What's this thing over here do? Range and hit chance reduced. Evasion. Oh, so they get more evasion there. That's cool. Interceptors flying around. That guy's gonna go right down the middle. You guys are gonna prevent me from getting a good shot. The turkeys. More enemy ships are arriving. Wonderful. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of them up here. Okay. Well then. This, if we move a little bit forward here, is it going to say the ass or the side? It says the side. Okay.
Oh boy.
The impure tremble.
Now try it.
Cannons. Annihilate them.
Okay. That's nice, but it's not going to get the job done. I can only move these guys 1, 2. I think it's going to consider them as hitting their own guys, maybe. Maybe not. We could kill this thing with the boarding party right here. Let's do it. gonna get fires and stuff, so they'll probably die on their own turn. So in that case, those things are way up there. And I can't hit them from here, can I? Nope, not even with the +2. They're really far away. Alright. That's the best we can do, I think. I need you, yeah, get over here and finish him off. Finish him off. Sword class frigate. Oh, he just blows up. Okay, at least he didn't blow up too close to this guy. These losers are gonna come in here. What is this little remnant anomaly? Smudge just drove over it. Oh, you're just gonna drive over us too, eh? Okay. Wait a minute, how many turns we got left? 3 turns on this thing? Okay. Get up here. I don't want to hit this. I want to use these to close against these guys. Can somebody kill this guy, please? Yeah, get up here. You get your 2 quick turns in a row, like a fool. Can anybody kill this guy down here? Can you, Heartless, maybe get this done? That would be really good. I got enough range here. Let's see about firing that.
Eviscerate them!
Always target the weakest point.
Let's pump this in that direction.
Souls to the void.
Yeah, this will work. We get up here.
Steer us to our target.
Okay, we got the dorsal.
Send them into the cold void.
And then we got this guy.
Unleash the storm of macro cannons.
Where we tread, the unfaithful fall.
Shift our shields. Okay. I like this. Now what can we do? We can turn one of these guys. Why don't we do that? Yeah, face him like that. And then give me a weak point on Doofus over here. His back. Okay. Alright. Not much else we can do except move a torpedo 5 spaces, and that's not enough for anything, so. And yeah, so you're in the way. You can't, he's actually in the way. We can't fly across them. We can't move across the same tiles like we can when we're in hand-to-hand combat, so. More ships moving. Oh, he blocked his own guy. That's great. A torpedo right there would be nice. Cobra class destroyer. He's still shooting. Can someone please get him before I am forced to blow this thing up manually? Okay, can you get right here?
Their shields down. Crush them.
Yes, crush them would be good. Okay, so dorsals.
Let the incandescent beam
Their
scorch
fate
our
awaits
enemies.
them.
Can we
Let
do
destruction
this?
pour forth.
Right in the fires of retribution.
All right. Let's see. If I go forward, then I get more spin around time here. This is what I wanted. Yep, right like this. 'Cause then I can do right there. So I can get either one of you guys. What about you?
Eviscerate them.
Smite the enemies of humanity.
Okay, not much else left on here that we can do except for move this back to the front side. If I scooted over to the left, I still couldn't get this guy with my right-hand side one. It'd be nice if we could, but we can't, so... Ship must reach the end of its... Oh, okay.
In place on our path.
Alright. I need you guys to kill this thing, please. This has got 13 points left. If they get down here and shoot this, I'm going to be disappointed. What? That little tiny interceptor took out all 5 of my missiles?
Already mercy for the enemies of humanity.
I'm done with that nonsense. Ship combat is so goddamn broken in this game. Please, I'm begging you, Owlcat, just take some time to fix it. This got broke in June when Lex Imperialis came out, with the same day the patch came out for Lex Imperialis. It's now fucking October, and you guys still haven't fixed this bullshit. Unacceptable. Master Helmsman Ravor says, reporting all enemy vessels destroyed. When will these upstarts get the message? You attack a rogue trader, you'll be floating in the void like a dead rat in the lower decker's soup. Who were they? Well-coordinated, well-equipped, signatures encrypted. Those weren't some nameless void rabble, they were professionals. Mercenaries, Lord Captain. How did they know where we were? Traitors! Someone that had infiltrated the crew. A dozen voidsmen, a few officers, and thrown even one astropath. That eyeless scumbag sent his mates the system's coordinates when we arrived. Their ship must have been patrolling this region in hopes of discovering Leethus. Where are these traitors? I wish to interrogate them. The Master-at-Arms handled their interrogation personally, and she managed to break the most resistant ones. In short, we learned they wanted to destroy part of the tithe and retreat. Strange behavior for pirates, wouldn't you agree? The last one spat out a cryptic warning along with his entrails. By the time you get back to Dargonis, it will be too late. I don't know what that means exactly. And what of the barges? Successfully translated into the warp and are now on their way to the designated coordinates, Lord Captain. Report received. We are moving out. Marshal Strax must be told about what happened here. So... Let's see, we get some development here. Premonition. The flagship's augurs can scan the area for favorable tactical positions. While the flagship is in such a position, its evasion is increased. Maximum overdrive. Speed is increased by 2. Its maneuverability is increased by 1. The bonus damage dealt by the void ship ram. I don't care about that part. At the end of each turn, the most damaged sector of the flagship's shield restores up to 50% its strength. That one seems kind of nice. So let's grab that. And then maximum overdrive for the increased range and maneuverability. And then our post. Who's our shield master? Jai Hadari has the head commander spot, so Pascal. Why did Pascal get removed from his post? We don't know. Because the game is broken. Alright. Let's make our way to Dargonis. Hope this bucket of bolts video game can get us there. So, it wasn't exactly safe to get here. The enforcers from different decks of the Von Valencius vessel report a terrifying sight. The skin of some crew members has become translucent, revealing knots of muscle and blood vessels beneath. Worse yet, small spider-like insects were seen scurrying inside of them, snow white and sparkling like ice. Yeah, I think we've seen that message before. Anybody seen the movie Martyrs? You might want to skip it. That's what that little part there reminded me of. Kiava Gamma colony requires the Lord's attention. Well, we will deal with that when we can. Janus, Foulstone. What's going on with Foulstone? False wonders. We get profit factor in people. Anything that's easy like that will do. More surgeon's kits. Nice. And at rank Xenotank for secret lair. Xenotank will get us Casbolic emission, less security and more efficiency. Scriptorum schools, provisions for less profit factor, more efficiency and some people. Xenos intoxicant, profit factor and chemicals. Dargonus, what do you got for us, buddy? Charter of minimal rights. Bastion, I believe we want this. This is something we want. The following projects must be completed. Yes. Provisions, people, mechanisms, weapon, execute. Vibos 6. Navy whips. Oh, fun. Underground workers. Mechanisms will get us plasteel. Well, we can do it, and let's do it then. Let's go, Dargonus. Colony Dargonus has begun a new stage of development. Well, let's see what that stage is on colony reward there. Nice. Dargonus. Dargonus is crying out for aid, Lord Captain. Riots over the interpretation of scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. While hunting for the agents of the cult of Final Dawn, the ecclesiarchy clamped down on the planet's minor cults, attempting to force correct adherence to the creed upon the populace. The commoners grumble about the oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy ecclesiarchs have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Oh, that sounds familiar. Every religion since the invention of time. Many of the disgruntled flee to the ruins of the Scipion hive, since the Foreman clan has promised them protection and support. It's even said that the Foremen supply the malcontents with weapons converted from industrial equipment in case of large-scale clashes. The enforcers and the agents of the ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the malcontents so far, but division grows wider by the day. Why are the Foremen involved in this? A great question, Lord Captain. This group does come up in the reports from the capital world rather often. I can assume that this is due to the fact that in their now ruined home, Scipion, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of revering the emperor. The preachers there used to teach the Scipions the importance of hard work and of the labor collective's familial unity, but seldom the importance of order and hierarchy. And they offered their congregation a form of faith that was as simple, cheap, convenient, and functional as their work clothes. And now they seem to think that the priests, who wallow in luxury, want to take this away from them. Is there any reason to believe that the disturbances are inspired by heretics? Thankfully, no, your lordship. The rabble-rousers zealously oppose heresy, fill the ranks of the planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform quotas, and attend prayer services. The Foreman clan has been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers, and has discovered 2 large, successfully operated cells. Our agents are quite confident that the likelihood of them harboring agents of the cult of Final Dawn is far lower than in other segments of the population. I see, then. And what do my advisors have to say? Small deviances in the creed beget large ones, and large ones beget heresy. Our faith is founded upon absolute trust in those above us, and if these people's beliefs push them towards dissent, then those beliefs have been wicked from the very beginning. But that does not necessarily make the preachers themselves wicked, perhaps simply misguided. We could pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so that they may see the truth, and it would also guarantee their flock's obedience. Shireen, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want to your people. Rein them in. Faith in the Exalted One is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. And even this can take many forms as well. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonus at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under your protection. Those who wish to worship him in their own way must prove their right to do so. The only help that would be proper in this situation is to provide instruction. Send one of the spinners to show them how they can defend themselves. They will either take up arms and protect their faith, or bow down. So, they are struggling to interpret the scriptures. I know one sacred text that proceeds from the Emperor, and that invites very few conflicting readings, the Lex Imperialis. None of the troublemakers would dare question the importance of his law or misconstrue what is written. It would serve them well to settle down and study the Injuncto Cardinal from cover to cover. Well, if we detain the preachers of these troublemakers and send them to re-education, we get the Book of Minor Prayers. The wearer cannot use psychic or navigator powers. They gain 30% chance to ignore the damage from psychic or navigator powers. And we get some bonus with the Drusians. We will send them Spinner. If we do that, we get security and we get Grace of Death. All allies gain awareness divided by 10% critical hit chance. The newfound death cultists on Dargonus offer nightly prayers for the Undying One to guide the rogue trader's hand in battle. That's not bad. The minor cults are hereby under my protection. We get bonus with Fellowship of the Void, Complacency, and Patron of Cults. All allies gain 15 lore Imperium, which I don't really care about. Lex Imperialis should be the new pillar of faith. Oh, and also we get a security there. The Book of Minor Prayers. The problem with the Book of Minor Prayers is that I don't think who would benefit from that? Someone like Cabela not being able to take damage? I don't think that's a big deal. If we send a Spinner and we get Grace of Death, I kind of like that. Let's do that. We will send a Spinner to Dargonus bearing guidance. Let us see how firm they are in their beliefs. Now they are the makers of their own fortune. The Spinner's instructions fell on fertile ground. Congregations of the sects rallied and began to smash the gathering places of their saintly persecutors. Fear forced the priests to cease repressions, and before long new doctrines similar in philosophy to the blood-spun web began to grow among the minor cults. The agents of the ecclesiarchy, having been reminded who truly rules Dargonus, have grown quiet. They have instead tried to win the schismatics' trust without further saber-rattling, by promising labor concessions for those who would abandon the minor cults and renounce the schismatic teachings. Oh yes, all the different religions coming together. Profit factor plus steel, adamantium. Sure. Alright, let's go see what's up at Dargonus. We're about to get some disadvantage here, I think. I think the smart thing to do is going to be end this here, because if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be some fighting in the next episode. So folks, we're going to end it here. As usual, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your questions and comments down below. I'll see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.